Have you ever been driving down the road and just see a bad driver and just think, well, what the heck is their deal? Well, today I want to be kind of talk more about that and what the causes of their bad driving. Every year, or um, since, or in 2018 rather, there's been about 33,000 motor vehicle accidents, and about 36,000 of those accidents or about 36,000 people have died because of those accidents. Or actually, rather, 36,000 people died because of the 33,000 fatal accidents. In Mississippi, about 22.2 people have died per 100,000 population in 2018. So what this basically means is that just around the United States, there's usually about two people that die per accident, which kind of shows like between the ratio of 33,000 fatal accidents and 36,000 accidents. And then also the way the with Mississippi, how they found the statistic is they looked at every 100,000 people, and or they found that per 100,000 people that there was usually about 22 deaths in caused by car accidents. Um, in also 2018, 36% of accidents were caused by cars. So this doesn't include SUVs, semis, or pickup trucks. It's just like little cars, like a Chevy Impala or a Honda Accord. Also, 53% of car crashes are caused by a single vehicle. So this means that it's either like someone that got into an accident from hitting some uh, like an animal on the road, or they were like kind of doing bad driving and managed to like hit the side of the road or something. Just which this statistic to me was surprising because I figured that most accidents would have more than one vehicle involved, but it's the opposite is true. I also found that people people that are ages 16 to 17 or 80 years up are cause more than three fatal crashes per 100 million miles. And then, and also 68% of accidents caused by 16 to 20-year-olds were caused by males. So, and this actually didn't really surprise me too much because when you look at insurance companies, the rates for these age groups are usually higher, and it's always because they cause the more accidents or the most accidents. Also, after reading or after hearing about this and reading some of these articles, I wanted to kind of figure out like how could you become a safe driver. And I found that there's 8 steps that you can follow to become a more safe and defensive driver. The first step is to think safe and avoid aggressive driving. So which basically means that you want to be aware of your surroundings, which is also step 2, and you want to just make sure that everyone around you is like isn't either driving too close or that everyone in your your car is buckled up, or that you're not like texting or other stuff like that. You just want to think safe while you're driving. Also, a part of being aware is you want to also look out for people, wildlife, and other obstacles that might be out on the road. And this stuff it can change in just a split second, so you need to be aware of your surroundings. Also, the third step is don't depend on other drivers being good drivers. And just by driving around St. Cloud, you can tell that this is something that is true. There's a lot of bad drivers, not only in St. Cloud, but around the United States and around the world. So to assume that everyone you're driving with or that everyone that you meet is going to follow road laws like completely and safely is just a mistake. You can't assume that everyone is going to be a good driver. For the fourth step, you want to give the fourth step. You want to give the car in front of you when you're driving down the road 4 seconds of space. And this basically means that you either look at a road sign that's coming up, or that the car in front of you is just about to pass, or maybe one of the dotted lines on the ground. And you want to count how many seconds it takes for that, either that road sign or that line to go past the car in front of you and then to reach your car. If that time between the car in front of you and your car is less than 4 seconds, then you're going to want to slow down. This also leads to following the speed limit. There's a lot of people that I see on the road, and I'm sure other people will see, and maybe and also I'm sure some of us have also sped before, but following the speed limit is there for a reason. In the winter, you never know if you're gonna run into an icy patch and slip into the ditch, or you never know if someone's going to slam on your brake on their brakes, or if there's going to be an animal that crosses the road. So these speed limits are there for a reason. Also, for step 6, you want to have a plan to avoid potential dangers. So this also kind of falls under giving the car in front of you 4 seconds of space. You never know if someone is gonna suddenly slam on their brakes, or if there's gonna be an animal that's crossing the road. So you want to have a plan for avoiding these dangers. And for avoiding animals on the road, one thing that I learned in driving school is that if you see a deer about to cross the road, or it's sprinting across the road, instead of trying to dodge it by following the direction it's going in, you want to aim for the spot that you first saw it in, because the deer is going to usually just run straight across the road. So if you aim for the spot where you first see it, it won't be there by the time you get there. Or you might maybe just hit the tail end of it, and you probably still drive your car afterwards. For the 7th step, just try to face one risk at a time. This basically means that if you're whenever you're driving down the road, you might have a bunch of kids in the back screaming, or there could be a car accident that just happened, or or it could be that traffic is busy, and you're about to go into a construction zone and you need to merge. All these things could be happening all at once, and it can be very stressful. And if you try to face all these tasks all at once, it can make your brain shut down. And to face one task at a time will help you kind of relax more and kind of get to your destination safely. And then this also leads to the 8th step, which is cut out distractions. And this could mean if the radio is too loud, or you're texting while driving, or if you're talking to someone over the phone. These are all distractions that you should cut out. Even though in Minnesota we have the hands-free law, and it's legal for you to talk over the phone while driving, as long as you're not using your hands, it's still a distraction that you should probably get rid of, because your full attention isn't on the road. And if you follow all these things, you usually won't run into people with road rage. Some of them, I know, following the speed limit, there's people that will get mad about that, and then usually go into road rage. And this leads into kind of some things I found about road rage. I found that 94 accidents are caused by driver error, and 33% of these are due to road rage. So it's still a pretty big percentage, but at the same time, it's also something that doesn't happen actually too often. I also found in 1990 that there was 218 deaths caused by road rage, and that number has actually increased by 7% each year. So there's actually more and more acts of road rage and more deaths caused by road rage each year. And a lot of these accidents are caused by road rage are usually deliberate, and like a lot of them actually involve firearms, which the two those two together are never like a good mix. Um, and then this kind of sort of leads me into wanting to talk about drunk driving. Because after thinking about how dangerous road rage is, I thought, well, drunk driving is actually worse. And I did find that in 2016 alone, that there's about a little over 10,000 people that died because of drunk driving. Um, so it kind of made me wonder, like, what could we kind of do about this? How could we make it a little bit safer? And of course, all of us could do our own part. And if you ever are intoxicated, to find like a different ride home. But I also looked into it, and I found that the United States has a higher blood BAC limit than other places like Europe. Of course, the United States has a BAC limit of 0.08, and the limit or the average limit in European countries is 0.04. So they have a lot lower tolerance, or a lot higher tolerance, or intolerance, I should say, of allowing someone to be intoxicated on the road or what have you. In New Brunswick, Canada, I found that if you are trying to get your license, you must have a BAC level of 0 for 27 months before you can get your license. And in Germany, I found that, and this was one thing I think that the United States should put into law, is if your blood alcohol content level is is 0.11 or higher, then or while you're driving or operating a vehicle, you lose your license completely without getting the chance of getting it back. Which I thought this was actually kind of a good idea, because this is a serious thing that needs to be dealt with. There's been a lot of lives in the past that have been lost because of drunk driving. So in conclusion, whenever you're driving down the road, just remember to follow those 8 safety steps that I told you. And then also that if you ever are out at the bar or at a friend's house drinking, just make sure that you can find a safe ride home, because a lot of people die each year from drunk driving. And that concludes my speech.